So I was reflecting on my relationship and I realized that it's so hard to let the past go. Since I've had my spiritual awakening, I see things with new sight and things are so much more painful and it hurts so bad. But as I began to write, because I'm a writer, I love to write, and I'm actually going to read you guys something. As I began to write, I started to feel better because I realized that this man is on his own journey and I have to be on my own journey. And the focus is not on others, but is on self. So I'm going to get started. I wanted so badly to believe in my partner that I didn't believe in my own feelings. His feelings became mine, and I realized that I was there every time that he hurt, and I was there with open arms every time that he came back, but he was not there for me every time that I hurt. So while reflecting, I became angry because I was alone in those moments and I didn't tell my friends all of the hardships in our relationship because I wanted to protect my relationship. And the things that I did tell them, I would defend. But still, I relied on them to vent because I could not vent to my partner. So I'm angry. And then I realized that he didn't treat me as his future wife because I am not his future wife. So how could I have gotten angry at the way he treated me when he had so blatantly voiced and his actions showed that? But it is how I accepted and it is how I reacted to the things that he did. Because I had to love myself enough to put a stop to that. I had an idea of him and I clung to that. And by doing that, I also put so much faith and hope in him that I made my love for him greater than my love for myself and above God. I'll never do that again because this is my journey. I wanted so badly for it to be our journey. I realized that this man has always been on his own journey and I was following his journey and I lost sight of my journey. And in my relationship, I always had this thought that because my conscience was clear, everything would be okay and whatever he did would be on his conscience. But still, that wasn't the right way to think because still I did not have peace and I was still sad and I was still holding on to something that I needed to let go. So I realized that this man was not there for me the way that I wanted him to be there for me. And I realized that we're not supposed to be on the same journey. And he is going his own way, even if his way is the wrong way. And even if he makes bad stops along his journey, it's his journey. And when you let him onto your journey, he will fall. And when you try to follow his journey, you will get lost because what works for him is what works for him, and what works for you may not work for him. Your partner's journey is not something for you to fix because only the person taking the journey can fix it. And when your journey is being led by God, but your partner is not being led by God, there is no balance. And when there is no balance, you will fall and you cannot walk the same journey as your partner because it is not for you. If you are walking the same journey as your partner, how can you expect any growth in your own? How can you expect to be going in the right direction if you are following someone else blindly? That person is not looking behind to see if you need help or to get you up if you fall because they are focused on their path. How can you expect your partner to see you if you are behind them? The balance is when both you and your partner are following God's lead and you both can see each other on your individual paths and you share the experience with them by inviting them onto your path and into your space. But still, an invitation is not a sign to live with them or for them to live with you. And so what happens when you're on your own journey and someone forces themselves into your space? I want you to close your eyes and I want you to imagine yourself standing with the endless ground beneath you and the endless sky above you. This is where God starts you in your journey. God leads you, but he gives you the free will to let him guide you or to go where you choose. And when someone doesn't know where they themselves are going and they see how good you're doing on your journey, they want to be a part of that journey. And their journey is leading them in circles. So now they have circled around to your journey point, and when you invite them in and they don't want to leave your journey, everything falls apart. And now you are stuck in their circle. Now this circle is all you know, and this person is your world. As this person keeps circling, the circle is getting smaller and smaller, and you feel suffocated because your journey has become their journey and they are going nowhere. And it's hard to get out of that circle because now you are used to their normal and their normal becomes your normal. And for so long, it was okay for them to leave and come back 1 foot in and 1 foot out. And you wait every time because you're expecting them. Your endless sky and endless ground is gone because in this circle, in their circle, it is confusion and blindness. Outsiders looking in, they see the circle that you're going in and they see you following this person that is no good for you. And this applies to your children. This applies to your friendships. When you see someone going in a circle, yes, you can be there for them. If they invite you into their circle, it's okay to visit. As long as you are strong in your faith and you are being led by God, it is okay to visit. It is okay to give them reminders because God gives messengers to remind you that he is still there and he is listening and he is watching. So when you see someone circling, give God's message and listen. It is not up to you to pull them out of their circle or to organize things inside of their circle. That is God's job when that person opens up. Their home has been invaded, and this is where the fighting starts. This is when the arguing happens. Whether the outsider who's trying to help you has their own endless ground and endless sky, or whether they're stuck in their own circle, be careful who you get advice from because they may see your truth, but they can't see their own, and two lies don't make a truth. You have to put God before everyone. God will lead you out of your circle. He will show you that there is more than just your circle. There is a bigger picture, and you have more work to do. You have the endless sky, and you have the endless ground. All you have to do is follow him. This is my journey, and this is your journey.